of the project, the second tallest solid concrete rock fill dam on the planet would be manufactured. The reason of the dam was to take care of becoming demand for power. Notwithstanding, the greater part of this interest is to lie in Peninsular Malaysia and Northeast Malaysia, where the dam is placed. Indeed, in Peninsular Malaysia, there is an oversupply of power, with TNB being bowled into unfavorable obtaining of concurrence with independent power producers. The first thought was to have 30% of the crate limit developed in East Malaysia and the rest sent to Peninsular Malaysia.
Flexible arrangement for the dam incorporate uniting it to an imagined trans-Borneo power grid interconnection, which could be a lattice to supply power to Sarawak, Sabah, Brunei and Kalimantan. There has been notice about this metric made inside ASEAN gathering. However, no move had been made by any get together. Bakun Dam came online on 6 August 2011. The 200-meter height dam was designed to generate 2,400 megawatts, much more power than Sarawak could use. But construction would flood an area of rainforest of size of Singapore, displacing 10,000 orang Kulu and destroying many living longhouses. This project also affects the life of the village people. Our reporter had interviewed some of the village people.
Pada pendapat makcik, apa kesan daripada pembinaan empangan ini kepada penduduk setempat?
Makcik memang tak pernah setuju dengan pembinaan empangan ni. Hutan kami ditebang, kami hilang sumber pendapatan. Apa lagi yang tinggal kat sini nak? Cuma orang-orang Sarawak je yang tahu apa yang kami alami sekarang. Kerajaan dah janji nak berikan kami rumah baru, tempat yang baru, tapi sampai sekarang tengoklah kami masih di sini. Kami hilang sumber pendapatan. Kalaulah berlakunya banjir dekat empangan ni, hilanglah segala yang kami ada ni.
Apa harapan makcik kepada pihak-pihak yang berwajib tentang perkara ini?
Makcik berharap sangat pihak-pihak berwajib tu tolonglah datang, bantulah kami kat sini. Duit pampasan yang kami terima tak pernah setimpal dengan apa yang kami dapat. Tolonglah kami ya nak.
We had interviewed some engineers to give their comment about this project.
Let's hear their comment.
Okay, Dr. Anis, what do you think the impact of this project in terms of soil?
As an geotechnical engineer, my opinion in this vacuum dam is the problem arises when the dam construction risk is also irregular. In addition, sediment and soil in the area downstream of the lake causing this area become shallow, and this is due to the soil erosion problem in the area banks and the waste disposal problem. Indirectly, the downstream river become more shallow as well as the lake. This pollution is causing the problem and disturbance to the wildlife. In terms of the effect of the mineral soil environment as we know, soil is the main ingredient in the plant growth because it contains an important mineral to the plant. But after the construction dam, the soil mineral content was affected either in the land or in the river itself. The soil were eroded because declining of the quality of the soil. Mineral here broke down by the flow of surface water. This problem increased when the mineral not only slightly absorbed into the soil. Soil within the river experience the same situation, but all of the mineral will accumulate in the dam.
Dr. Liana, what do you think the impact of this project in terms of water?
Okay, from my opinion, for water impact, usually the river become plastic and silt as soil erosion to occur during constructions and water emission. From here, the water turn brown, leading to the growth of aquatic plant occur. Otherwise, the river will become mineral deficiency caused by the problems with the water flow system down due to the water reservoir. And for saltwater problem, construction of dams causes the river water flow downstream to slow down. The flow causes the entry of salt water slowly over time. This result in aquatic system become unbalanced, especially in freshwater ozone. Okay, fish breeding will be affected. This also cause the tidal waves rose and broke the fish harder. So, the salt water can penetrate deep into the river. High concentration of pollutants exists when this salt water entry. This is because the river water flow is slow to melt the content that on this food. This is problem for people that living there, but the problem should consider the gradient and size of the river and the deteriorations of river water flow. So that is my point of view for in Department of Water and Resources. Thank you.
Let's hear the point of view from Dean of Civil Engineering Faculty in University Mansiapan.
I have listed few impact of the Bakun Dam project to the ecology of Sarawak. Okay, first of all, the impact of the project to the indigenous people in Sarawak. In Sarawak, around 15 communities will be affected as a result of the construction. The indigenous people affected will include Kayan, Kenyah, Kajang, Bukit, and Penan people. People there obtain most of their resources from the jungle. Losing this land would not only mean losing their food supplies and critical resources, but also their ancient burial grounds. Secondly, the impact of the construction to the ecosystem and the forests. The island of Borneo rich in primary tropical rainforests, including the areas closest to the river and the seas, are the large mangrove forests that stretch from Malaysia's part of Borneo Island to the Indonesia. Okay. The area proposed for the construction of the dam would jeopardize many native species that reside in the area. There are about 100 species of flora and fauna that are native to the area. Some of the famous flagship species that are in the area of proposed construction are great leaf monkey, the Borneo gibbon, and the Malayan sunbear. Lastly, the impact of the construction to the indigenous people and their struggles. It is uncommon for the indigenous people of Sarawak area to be exposed to the exploitation and environmental injustice. For example, beside the troubles of the construction of Bakun Dam project, the Penan tribesmen have been fending off large logging companies that have threatened to exploit and own most of their homelands. The Bakun Dam project covers about 51% of the land area that owned by the natives. So, the displacement of people from their homes would also mean a loss of their way of life and many other important resources that sustain the indigenous people's way of life.
Next, we have some opinion from the Minister of Environment and Resources.
Sir, do you think that this project needs EIA?
Yes, of course this project need EIA, but the downstream EIA is not integrated with engineering and economic analysis. Threatening effects are not addressed. For example, the effect of deteriorating water quality on the downstream fisheries, and the effect of waterborne disease on resettled people, the effect of geomorphic change downstream of the ban on downstream ecosystem function, and the effect of depleted fish, wildlife and plant resources on the local and downstream subsystem economy. So this EIA report reviewed that the study was incomplete because it failed to address several key issues. Some of the issues is the effect of the reservoir on the hydrodynamic, geomorphology and ecology of the downstream estuary. Also, there are the effect of reduced frequency and duration of floodplain inundation on the downstream ecosystem and individual species and communities.
Is there any act related to this construction of the dam?
Of course, there is an act. We refer to the Environment Quality Act 1974. In section 25, there are restrictions on pollution of inland water. When the dam being constructed, the water pollution happen when the river become elastic and silt as soil erosion occur during construction and water emission. The other act is Act Environment Quality Act 1974, Section 24, restriction on pollution of the soil. Soil contamination also will happen when the dam construction. Waste is also irregular. Sediment and soil in the area downstream of the lake causing this area shallow. This pollution is causing the problem and disturbance to wildlife and also residents. There are another law applied to Bakun Dam. The other law applied to Bakun Dam is the Local Government Act 1976 under Act 171, and the second law is the Land Conservation Act 1960 under Act 385.
In a wider context, the whole process raised the fundamental question of who defines and who benefits from the development. The fact is that the indigenous population affected by the Bakun PCP have been asked to sacrifice their entire natural and cultural heritage in the name of development. Yet, on the closer examination of the way this whole project has been planned and implemented, it is clear that the indigenous people feel utterly betrayed and degraded by this so-called development. They have been made to change lifestyle which they control and work from which they could plan their future, to one where everything has been planned for them and which has robbed them of their dignity, autonomy and ability to sustain their livelihood through integration with their traditional land and its resources.
It must be pointed out that the indigenous people of Bakun are by no means backward and living primitive lifestyle. Far from it, most communities have been participating in cash economy for a long time now. Their original house has been produced quite a few university and professional. The member of parliament for the area is himself a former headmaster. What they could do to improve their quality of life at their original house are better service, transportation, education, facilities, clinics and hospital, marketing and trading. They could do with some sustainable means of power for each of their longhouse communities. In other words, development must be based on the needs of communities and not the socially destructive type like the Bakun project. Thank you.